What's up guys, it's Darius, and today I want to discuss a concern that a good amount of us in the community have with what Bungie has recently confirmed about Destiny 2 during the showing of the game. As we all know, one of the drawbacks of Destiny 1 was the fact that the story was basically non-existent. We had a very broad and simple explanation of the events that had happened and what we were experiencing for almost 2 years until The Taken King came out. It's when The Taken King came out that we got more cutscenes and assets in the game that further explain the current events we were taking part in, and even stuff that happened in the past, like what happened to Praedyth in the Vault of Glass. Maybe not as much as we wanted, but still a big improvement over year one. So it's awesome to hear and see how far Bungie is going in on making the story present in-game in Destiny 2. It seems as though the days of having to rely on the Grimoire for decent to great storytelling is gone. Gone are also the days of telling people that the story of Destiny is amazing, however you have to go online and read hundreds of cards to get the whole story of a deep tale that Destiny has. Or at least we can hope this is the case. Let me explain why this is actually something that can hurt Destiny 2. Recently, Bungie has come out and confirmed that there will absolutely be no Grimoire whatsoever in Destiny 2, and that the story will be told through adventures, missions, characters, scannables, etc. That seems awesome, right? To finally get the story told to us in-game is something we've all waited for. I thought this too until I recently watched My Name is Bife's and Myling Games' newest videos talking about the effects of there being no Grimoire in Destiny 2. Let's start off with what Mylan had to say on this topic. For the most part, Mylan is very worried about the effects of the community that'll take place once there's no data in Bungie's API for sites like Ishtar Collective to grab data from. If you do not know, Ishtar Collective is the main site where lore masters and lore YouTube video creators go to make their videos. He goes on to say that he already spends up to 6 hours researching to make his videos, and if you have watched any of Mylan's videos, you know that they're deeply researched and very accurate. This is all thanks to the API in Ishtar Collective. Without this, he says the community would have to band together and make a new research database for lore masters to use, and the research process for videos could take up to a week, and in turn we'd get less videos. On top of that, the data collection research process would take up to weeks rather than just hours upon Destiny 2's release. And even more on top of this is the fact that this data will be more times than not subject to human error, such as spelling mistakes and words missing, among dozens of other areas where information could either be missing or just incorrect due to humans having to put in the data itself. I will leave a link to his video down below so you can get the full extent of his argument on this situation. It's very well thought out and very thought-provoking. I'd now like to move on to Bife and his take on this. His video and channel link will be down below as well, but the main point that struck me from Bife's video was that he mentioned that just like a lot of gameplay elements in Destiny 2, the story could be streamlined for casual audiences coming in as well to make sure that they just get the story. He's afraid that the complexity and the depth of Destiny's story might suffer just because of them not wanting to do both in-game story and Grimoire. While he and a lot of us who love the lore of Destiny have hope that Bungie will in some way be able to keep the same depth in the lore while keeping it in-game, Bife makes the argument of why couldn't have this lower tier to middle tier of storytelling be present in the game, alongside them giving us the deep and super specific details and logs of info that tell an even deeper story. And this I also have to agree with. I've always said that Bungie got off lucky with the situation they put themselves in with the whole lack of story in Destiny 1. While a big and deep story was missing in-game, they put it in the Grimoire as well as the loot we get to tell stories we hadn't known about before. They got off lucky because it actually turned out that in this aspect more than any other, Bungie made us feel like we were actual guardians in real life. Just think about it. We had to go into the Ishtar Collective, which is the name of a huge research and database that is on Venus that people in the Golden Age went to. In this database, we were learning about people like Saint 14 and Osiris. Us, the players, were and still are learning about the past and unknown, both in-game and in real life. For those of us who love the lore of Destiny, this very aspect could be at risk due to there being no form of Grimoire. With all that being said, I would just like to say a few things that have me optimistic as well as a reiteration of a few points. I'm actually holding hope that either Bungie will bring it back after seeing the backlash from this, or something else. Another route could be that they could be putting the Grimoire in-game and we just don't know it yet. One last thing I'm actually hoping for is that something that Bife kind of mentioned, which was giving us actual books in-game to read and learn about certain aspects of the game. The last two of these three options would satisfy everyone due to there being a deeper lore and it being present in-game. Both parties would win, especially the people who are new to Destiny or are looking to get into the lore and find a Destiny 2 lore video on, say, Gaul and some information they didn't know on him before. Again, this would promote content creation and further the Psycho community activity, as well as doing what Bungie wants to do, putting the story in game. Lastly, I just want to remind you all that we in the lore community are not upset one bit that more story is being told in game. We are beyond excited for more cutscenes and dialogue. We've waited literally 3 years for this. We're just concerned that the depth and the thing that makes us come together to promote discussion and teamwork to figure out what happened to someone or something in this universe is going to suffer immensely if Bungie decides to cut back on the thousands of words they normally put into Grimoire to explain these events. We're afraid that what makes Destiny's story interesting is most likely not going to be there. Here's to holding out hope we get something that everyone is happy with. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Please let me know your thoughts on this down below. Are you one from the lore community that wants something to promote the depth that Destiny 1 had with its story while it being in-game? Or are you fine with there being a more casual story with less details and less room for interpretation while simultaneously having more room for human error? Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section, or you can take the discussion to Twitter with me at Crystallis_King, as well as others. If you enjoyed this video, a like is appreciated, as well as a sub and a share to get this discussion out there even more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.